Very good evening, everyone. And this is Ravi Kiran. I'm a chartered accountant and I qualified in 2018. And since then, I'm into teaching various subjects of CA Inter and CA Final. Now, in this video, I'm going to address few people who are really struggling to pass theory subjects of CA Inter. It may be auditing or it may be SM also in the new syllabus. Now, most of the people they struggle in CA Inter auditing, which carries 100 marks. Even out of 100 marks, scoring 40 marks, some people are finding it difficult. And now in this video, I'm going to address those issues and how to achieve more marks and what kind of approach we need to follow and what kind of preparation we need to adapt and how can we utilize the next 50 days before examination. Okay, this is what I'm going to address in this video. Stay patient and listen to me carefully and completely till the end, and you will have a different approach for the theory subjects altogether from now onwards and even in CA final. Even I followed the same trick or technique, whatever we call, in my CA final, and there used to be a subject called as ISCA, Information Systems and Control Audit, which is nothing but information technology, which we used to have in old syllabus of CA Inter. Okay, so this is the area we faced a lot of struggle to pass, and I implemented one technique, and in the let us say in the previous examination which I failed, and I implemented this technique after that, and I got exemption CA final ISCA. So there is a difference of just 45 days which I realized and implemented this technique, and this 45 days of this kind of preparation which helped me a lot in achieving success in CA final ISCA subject, that too with exemption. Okay, done. So the same thing I'm going to explain now, and listen to me very carefully. First of all, why this subject is little tricky to pass. First important aspect, it is a people think it is a theory subject, and some people say it is completely practical subject. And in my opinion, this subject includes both theoretical aspects and practical aspects. So first point, you need to understand the concepts in its entirety, and then you need to mug up. There is no other option. First, you need to understand the concept, and we need to apply our brain to remember all the points. So we need to have multiple revisions to secure more marks. So only understand the concepts may not help you in achieving some good marks in the final examination. Along with preparation, along with understanding of the concepts, you need to remember the content. This is what we are facing. That's the reason why we are facing the problem in getting good marks in auditing. A lot of people, they understand the concepts very well. Okay, the flow of the auditing, the sequence of studying the standards of auditing and all other subjects, they listen to the classes very carefully. Okay, but why do they fail? The reason may be what? The reason may be they fail in preparing for the examination, rather than, okay, they listen to the classes well, but they fail to retain the subject in the brain. That's what the problem. And some people, they try to mug up this subject, but without having the conceptual understanding, it is really very difficult for them to remember, because it may be possible to remember the content, but it is not possible to solve MCQs, because we have MCQs of around 30 marks out of 100, and we will be able to, okay, secure some good marks only when we have conceptual understanding, so that we can solve this MCQs. So the conceptual blend, okay, along with this mugging up techniques, okay, these are the two aspects we need to remember in our brains, so that we can just proceed in preparation of CA Inter auditing. Okay, so let us go forward and understand what exactly the syllabus is all about. And after we have such discussion, I will help you in creating a schedule for the same, and the preparation pattern also I will be explaining. Okay, so there are around in the new syllabus there are around 11 chapters, and some chapters they are little easy, and there are some chapters which are moderate, and there are some chapters which are really too big, okay, big in size, and even sometimes it may be difficult for you to study and retain the content. Okay, so three categories we can just divide, and in my preparation, okay, in whatever the technique I am going to provide, and I will consider out of 11 chapters, out of 11 chapters, and whatever I am going to say now, it covers around 7 to 8 chapters. 7 to 8 chapters. So the technique what I am going to explain you now is applicable only for 7 to 8 chapters. So sir, what about remaining topics, remaining 3 chapters? So there may be a different strategy for that, but whatever I say now, it is only applicable for 7 to 8 chapters right now. Okay, so and hence pay attention, and just by studying this 7 to 8 chapters also, you will be able to secure more than 55 to 60 marks in the final examination. Okay, done. Sir, what are the 8 chapters right now you are going to say? That is chapter number 1, and coming to second aspect, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, chapter number 4, audit evidence. Leave chapter number 5, audit of items of the financial statements. The technique is going to be applicable for this chapter. Come on, sixth one. So this is the fifth which I select, and sixth in my sequence, completion and review, sixth one, and thereafter seventh one, auditor's report, and thereafter eighth one, it is ethics and terms of audit engagement. So out of 11, I selected 8. I selected 8. What may be the reason for the same? So out of these 8 chapters, what is the thing which is common? So all these chapters, whatever I selected right now, it contains, okay, those chapters contain standards on auditing. Standards on auditing. And there is a sequence in which we need to learn standards on auditing. So once we have that sequence in our mind, understanding levels of those standards whenever it is high, then it is very easy for you to qualify in CA Inter Audit. And hence we are going to focus upon these 8 chapters right now, and thereafter I'll explain you some other technique for remaining 3 chapters also later, not in this video. Right now I'm going to focus only on 8 chapters. Okay, so out of these 8 chapters, let me again write 8 chapters here. Chapter number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. So after 6, it is 7, I guess. 7 and 8, chapter number 8. 7, 8, 11. Done. 7, 8, 11. So 5 plus 3, 8 chapters total I selected. So right now I'll do one thing. I will again group these chapters. So chapter number 1 and 2, set 1. Okay, chapter number 1 and 2, set 1. Chapter number 3, set 2. Chapter number 4, set 3. Chapter number 6, 11 and 7. So put together 6, 7, 11. We can call it as set number 4, and chapter number 8, set number 5. So out of 8 chapters, I subgrouped them as 5 topics. Okay, 5 sets. Set number 1, it is here, set number 1, set number 2, set number 3, set 4 and set 5. Yes, set number 1, it is chapter number 1 and 2. Set number 2, it is chapter number 3, 4, 6, 7, 11 and solo it is 8, set number 5. So why am I dividing all these chapters in sets? Because each set we are going to spend 7 days. Okay, 7 days, and 7 days into 5, which is equal to 35 days preparation we are going to do for these 5 chapters only, or 5 sets. 35 days. We are going to allocate 35 days from now onwards, and you believe me, out of 50 days we are utilizing 35 days for these 8 chapters, and I require from your side a minimum of 1.3 or 1 hour 30 minutes in a day. In a day. Okay? In a day. And in that 1.30 hours minimum, this is the minimum. Okay? In that 1.30 hours, every day I need 20 minutes time for revision of whatever happened before this preparation. Whatever happened in before this preparation. So let us example. Tomorrow it is Monday. Okay, tomorrow it is Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are the 7 days, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days. And eighth day, we are going to have an examination. We are going to have an examination on whatever we studied in that previous 7 days period. Okay. Now, I am going to give you important questions. Some sort of, it is not important questions, by the way. It covers all the topics, all the questions. Okay. Whatever I am going to give you, it covers all the topics. And further in that, I will segregate category A questions, B questions, and C questions. So you don't need to take into consideration this segregation. You need to read everything. So those who are really struggling with auditing, they may focus on A and B, they may leave C. But if you are targeting more than 60, so this segregation won't be applicable for you. You need to read all the 3 sets, all the 3 categories of questions, A, B and C. Now I segregated chapter number 1 and 2. In this video I am going to explain both the things, 1 and 2, where I have found around 17 questions in those 2 chapters. So I covered wide text of the study material, and I formed few questions, and out of chapter number 1 and 2 I got 17. Now these 17 questions you are going to cover in the next 7 days. Okay. So how do we need to plan? On Monday, say imagine you spent 1.3 hours, 1.30 hours, and you covered 3 questions. Okay. So you need to be perfect in those 3 questions. You need to spend some time and try to revise immediately in that 1.30 hours itself, and you need to have that full clarity on the 3 questions. So what is that question is asking, and what exactly you need to write. So once we read on the first day itself, you need to spend 1.30 hours, and you need to be well versed with this 3 questions along with answers. Okay. Now on Tuesday, again in this 1.30 hours, 20 minutes will be allocated for these 3 questions only, and rest 1 hour 10 minutes will be given for next 3 questions. Okay, I guess you're all getting the point. And in again on Wednesday, again 20 minutes will be given for the questions which got covered on first day, even covered on second day. Again this 20 minutes, first 20 minutes will be given, and it is allocated only for previous day's preparation. Okay. So again plus 1.10 hours, new 3 questions. So every day when we start, first 20 minutes will be given for the previous questions what we covered. So in that sequence, we need to spend all 7 days covering around 17 to 18 questions, and along with that covering MCQs which are given in the textbook itself. So test your knowledge questions are given in the textbook, and you need to solve this MCQ questions also by the end of 7th day. Okay. So once the 7 days are over, then on 8th day, you are going to write an examination. How the examination is going to be? You do one thing, take a white paper like this. Okay. Take a white paper, and let me show you the questions also to you. These are the questions I framed from chapter number 1 and 2, and you just need to write one thing, do one thing. Okay. So write first question here and leave some space for the answer. and write second question here, leave some space for second answer. Write third question, leave some space. 4 space, 5 space, 6 space. In such way, use multiple white papers and complete all the questions of chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. So you will be having like 3 or 4 pages for entire 17 questions. So this is kept as one set. Okay, this is kept as one set. And take the printout of this set, 2 copies. Xerox copies of these papers, 2 copies. So now, right now you are having 17 questions in 3 sets. Okay, so questions are written, there is space for answer. So this is how you need to maintain your sets. Okay, so done. So in my preparation technique, what is the thing we are going to apply now? Set number 1, which includes chapter number 1 and 2, which consists of 17 questions. 17 questions. How many days? 7 days. And plus 8th day exam. Okay, and this exam must be written on those papers. And I just mentioned you three sets of question and answer format papers must be maintained. Okay, question and answer format papers must be maintained, which should be in 3 sets. Out of that, first set, you take first set and write exam on these 17 questions. In fact, on these 17 questions. Okay, 17 questions. Writing practice. This helps you in writing practice. Okay, all 17 questions you need to answer in set 1 of these 3 sets. Okay, and this is to be held on 8th day. 8th day. I hope you are all getting the point very, very clear. So every day you are learning some new 3 questions. Along with that, you are focusing on the questions which were already covered in the previous days, and you continue your preparation for 7 days like this. Multiple times you will be studying the same question again and again. And at the end of 7th day, you believe me or not, once you read the question, answer will come within no time. You will be able to write all the 17 questions within no time. I hope you're all getting the point. We completed set 1 of our chapters. Okay, set 1. Okay, now this set 1 is completed in 8 days. Now let us come to set 2. Okay, set 2. This is also for 6 to 7 days. 7 days. Don't worry if the set is completed in only 4 or 5 days. Don't worry, you spend again on the same chapter itself. Okay, you need to give appropriate time for that chapter. All the 7 days must be allocated to that, and multiple times revision is very much required in auditing and even for SM also. Okay, so 7 days, read it again, there is no problem. And 7 days, set to 7 days plus 8th day examination. And again, for the set 2 also, we may have another 15 to 20 questions. 20 questions. All the 20 questions we will be covering in 7 days. And then we will write an exam on 8th day. But believe me, when you write set 2 examination, along with set 2, you just need to prepare for set 1 chapters like 1 and 2 and write the examination on this question and answer paper format. Sets are there, right? Okay, second set. You already used first set out of 3. Now use second set. Okay, so at the end of 15th day or 16th day, you are going to write exam on both set 1 and set 2. That is chapter number 1 and 2 and 3 also. So this is called cumulative revision. And if you could able to cover in the same way for these 8 chapters, believe me, you can make wonders within no time. Last 45 days, you will get exemption in auditing. There is no doubt at all. So this is the strategy once you follow. Okay, the first 20 minutes if you use for previous days preparation, this will help you a lot in retaining the content and easily you will be able to qualify. Okay, so before we start this kind of preparation, first of all, if there is any subject lagging in your mind, there is lack of conceptual understanding on the topics, whichever there is in the syllabus, then you must focus on getting the conceptual understanding. Okay, like the flow of auditing, the sequence of studying the standards, and okay, the conceptual way of understanding the subject. You need to get this and then start this kind of preparation. It will help you a lot in retaining the content and also to solve MCQs in the final examination. I hope you're all getting the point very, very clear. And now in this video, I'm going to address first set questions. Okay, first set questions. You don't need to worry. Okay, you spend only 1.3 hours or 1.30 hours every day if you are preparing for both groups. However, if you are preparing only for group 2, okay, you need to spend a minimum of 2.5 hours for auditing itself. 1.5 hour is for new preparation and 1 hour is for old questions preparation. Okay, I hope you all get the point. Done. Now, let me focus on the questions which are given. Okay, these are the questions which are taken from ICA module itself. So ICA SM you can open. Just a minute. Yes. Let me highlight. Take out the textbook. ICA textbook is the Bhagavad Gita for auditing for these 8 chapters only. Okay, not the remaining chapters. Yes, chapter number 1 I am opening now. That's in chapter number 1. Nature, objective and scope of the audit. Yes. So in the process of audit, auditor is expected to provide an opinion on the financial statements. While he does that work, he has to see that the financial statements would not mislead anybody. Okay, would not mislead anybody. And he needs to ensure these are the following points. So if these points are checked and ensured by the auditor, then he can express his opinion and he can say that the financial statements are not prepared in a misleading nature. Okay, it does not mislead anyone. Okay, so he needs to ensure the following points. So this is the first question. See, in the process of expressing the opinion on the financial statements, the auditor has to see the financial statements would not mislead anybody. So what is to be seen? To say that the financial statements are prepared, which is not in a misleading way. So on this thing, the auditor is, you are expected to comment. See, comment on the aspects to be ensured by the auditor to justify the statement. So to say that the financial statements are not misleading in nature, are not misleading anyone. So what is to be seen by the auditor? So this is the question. And this is a category question. And if this question is asked, you believe me or not, okay, exactly all the 6 points you need to write. All the 6 points. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the 6 points, if you can write, you may fetch around 4 to 5 marks if the question is given. Okay, so remembering all the 6 points as it is what your target is. Sir, as it is means what? As it is means what? Are we really required to, okay, read and write have been drawn up? Okay, so this is the language which is given in the textbook. You don't need to remember as it is the language, but at least you need to write the main content of the point. See, the accounts are drawn up with reference to the entries in the books of accounts. So, okay, see here, the accounts have been drawn up with reference to entries in the books of accounts. Okay, so this can be written in another sentence also. This way you can write. Okay, he needs to ensure whether the accounts are prepared in accordance with the entries that are posted or written, entries that are written in the books of accounts. So in the general language also you can write. See what is the content of this point, what they are trying to say, whatever the entries you pass, okay, whatever the entries you write, and from that entries only you need to drop the ledger accounts. Okay, you need to draw the ledger accounts and you need to write those accounts only from these entries. That is what they are saying. Okay, this is the first question. Let us go to understand second question. Relationship with auditing with other subjects. Okay, now what is the relation between auditing and other subjects? See, interdisciplinary auditing is a subject which is having link with various other subjects: accounting, law, economics, behavioral sciences, statistics, maths, data processing, and financial management and production. And this is the question which is mentioned in blue shaded portion. You need to write this. Okay, and coming to the third area. Okay, I kept this second question in B category, and anyway, if you are targeting high marks in auditing, there is no segregation of the questions. Next point, what are the inclusions and exclusions from the scope of the audit? Mostly an MCQ may come from this area. And what are the inherent limitations of the audit? Definitely you need to read this, an important question. And what are the benefits of the audit? A C category which may not come in the examination. But elements of assurance engagement and difference between reasonable and limited assurance engagement. This is one of the important questions only. It may be A or B. You cannot say. This is the first time. Okay, the syllabus got changed, and you cannot exactly say which category it may come. Okay, so these are the 7 questions in chapter number 1. Whereas from chapter number 2, I mentioned page numbers also where you can find the answer. Okay, what is the audit? What is audit planning, and write its benefits, which is very easy. And audit is a you all know audit is a continuous process, continuous and iterative process. It is not a discrete phase. It is not applied only at the beginning. It is not applied at the end of the audit. It goes on throughout the audit. Okay, so every time we need to check if something which is really bothers the auditor, then he needs to revise the audit planning, and perform the audit again based on the revised conditions. So you need to answer this question. Audit is continuous and iterative process, comment. So in that way, there are 10 questions which are picked up from chapter number 2, where if we can complete these 10 questions, and absolutely there may be a question from this area, okay, in the final examination. So read all the questions very carefully, give some good time for each and every chapter, and revise it multiple times. Only when you write the final examination at the end of eighth day, then only you can say you have prepared for chapter number 1 and 2. Just a plain reading, it doesn't mean you studied. Okay, so you can say that you prepared audit well only when we can keep all the content in our mind. Okay, that's what you need to remember. Okay, follow this technique for 1 or 2 weeks at least. You will find the difference. You will find that, okay, the confidence built within you, so that you can face the examination really very cool. Okay, done. So even in this from this second chapter, I am mentioning the page numbers also. Okay, so that you can find the answer from this pages itself. So follow this technique. Do let me know once you complete first week and or second week. Come to this video and comment whether it is useful or not. If it's not useful, I'm going to delete this particular video from my YouTube channel. Okay, done. And don't rush to complete all the syllabus in one go. You provide some good time for each and every chapter and retain it completely in your brain. So there is a lot of time. 50 days more than enough. I am giving you the plan for only 40 days, and remaining 10 days are also there. I am going to give you some good technique for preparation of remaining 3 chapters also. Okay, right now I am taking a break, and we will meet soon again with chapter number or set number 2, 3, 4, 5 also soon. Okay, done. Thank you.